A crimson dragon tears through storm clouds above a burning battlefield. Below, mages unleash cascading energy blades that spiral toward the beast. The dragon roars as the attacks strike its scales, but the magical assault shatters harmlessly against its armored hide. Panic spreads among the mages. Their strongest spell has failed. The dragon descends like a meteor toward a lone warrior. The swordsman channels his refined internal energy, his chi, and meets the beast's charge. His blade connects with dragon scale and shatters. The warrior stares at the broken steel in disbelief. He has trained his entire life in this singular path, and now his weapon has betrayed him. The dragon's maw ignites with gathering flames. Fire erupts across the battlefield in a devastating wave that consumes everything. Warriors collapse in despair. Then a figure appears. Oscar, the sword saint, stands alone against the sky filled with approaching monsters. He leaps toward the red dragon with impossible speed. In the reflection of the dragon's eye, we see him raise his blade. One strike. The dragon's shadow falls across the battlefield as its body crashes to earth. The survivors stare in stunned silence. Oscar simply tells them to handle the rest and walks away, his expression cold and distant. As he leaves, Oscar reflects on his choice, the path of the sword instead of magic. He has reached the pinnacle of swordsmanship, achieved the highest rank, become the legendary sword saint. Children look at him with awe, but he remembers watching a street mage perform a simple trick for a young girl. The beauty of that magic still haunts him. All his achievements, all the recognition, none of it fills the void inside him. That childhood desire for magic never disappeared. Morning light breaks over a mountainous training ground. Oscar swings his wooden sword with methodical precision, each strike powerful enough to shake the earth. Two apprentices watch from a distance. Apprentice girl. Does he train every day? Apprentice boy. This ground used to be flat. His training created that crater. The girl's eyes widen in disbelief. She suddenly remembers the scroll in her hands and calls out to Oscar. He stops mid-swing. Girl. Master, a letter from the imperial capital. Oscar reads it with barely concealed annoyance. Oscar, a medal for the dragon. What a hassle. Girl, smiling. You could get an important position with your achievements. Oscar, I have no interest in politics. I'd rather train. Girl, you really love the way of the sword. Oscar falls silent, his gaze distant. Oscar, I don't particularly like the sword. My father forced me to choose this path. The girl stares at him, shocked. Girl, but I envy you. You have natural talent. I chose this path myself, but I fear I lack the gift for it. Sometimes I think I should have become a mage instead. Oscar places a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Oscar, use your time to train instead of worrying. That's how I grew stronger. She smiles, determination returning to her eyes. Night. Oscar lies awake, staring at his hand. What would my talent have been like if I had chosen magic? He laughs bitterly at his own advice about not having time to worry. Then he senses it. Something terribly wrong. An explosion tears through the night. His residence erupts in flames. Hooded mages emerge from the smoke, their leader pointing his staff with a sinister grin. Oscar leaps from the inferno, landing gracefully before them. Oscar, you're skilled mages, and you, eyes focusing on the leader, must be in charge. The mages unleash a coordinated magical assault. Oscar dodges the energy beams with inhuman speed and charges toward one of the attackers. The leader appears, holding Oscar's apprentice hostage, a blade to her throat. Leader, surrender, sword saint. The girl's eyes are wide with terror. Oscar, what do you want? Leader, revealing a glowing pendant. Your life. We cannot forgive the existence of someone with so much talent. Oscar, I don't understand. Leader, you don't need to. You're going to die here. The apprentice girl screams through her gag. Don't worry about me. I'm a swordsman too. Her brave words ignite something in Oscar. He raises his sword with a confident smile. Oscar, your plan has failed. Underestimating my disciple was your biggest mistake. The leader's ice spell activates. Dozens of ice spears rain from the sky. Oscar ignores his own safety. He runs his sword through the henchman holding the girl, even as ice spears pierce his body. He collapses, riddled with wounds, but the girl is free. Leader, backing away. The objective is met. Farewell, Oscar. You were blessed with a talent for magic. The mages vanish. The girl runs to Oscar, tears streaming down her face. Girl, why did you save me like that? Oscar, smiling through the pain. Because you're a warrior too. Girl, this is my fault. Oscar, it's not your fault. As his life fades, Oscar thinks, if I were a mage, I could have done something different. His final thought echoes in the darkness. My true desire was always magic. I used the sword only to distract myself from the truth. The honors never fulfilled me. Nothing compared to the thrill I felt when I first saw magic as a child. A new light appears, offering a second chance. Oscar opens his eyes. He's standing in a familiar forest. I should be dead. He recognizes the view, the hill overlooking his hometown. On the ground lie a wooden sword and 2 letters. Admission invitations to the kingdom's 2 greatest academies. One for magic, one for swordsmanship. These letters are sent to every young person at age 15 to choose their future. Oscar looks at his reflection in a puddle. A 14-year-old boy stares back at him. I've returned to the past. A shadow looms over him. Voice. What are you doing here, Oscar? His father, the swordmaster, stands before him, alive. Oscar's eyes well with tears. Father, you've been getting cocky with your skills lately. Oscar remembers this day. He wasn't being cocky. He was wondering whether to tell his father about his love for magic. Flashback. Young Oscar running excitedly to his father after seeing street magic. Young Oscar. Father, magic is so beautiful. Father, furious. Magic is for the weak. As my son, you will only swing the sword. Present. Oscar's face hardens with determination. I've had enough of that ending. In this life, I will follow the path I always wanted. Father, why are you neglecting your training? Oscar, I have faced the sword for an entire lifetime. His father releases a crushing golden aura. Energy swords manifest around him. The pressure sends apprentices flying backward. Oscar stands completely still, unfazed. One apprentice whispers, "How can he remain so calm?" The father dispels his aura, impressed. Father, it seems you weren't just goofing around. One day I might entrust my guild to you. The other apprentices glare with envy as the father walks away. 2 apprentices grab Oscar from behind. Apprentice 1. We've been waiting for the academy break to see you. Apprentice 2. Time to teach you how to really use a sword. Oscar remembers these friends from his past life. After they awakened their sword chi at the academy, training became an excuse to beat him. The first apprentice charges forward, his wooden sword enveloped in chi. Oscar turns his back and walks toward the lake. Oscar, thank you for everything. Farewell. He throws his wooden sword into the water. Apprentices, coward, disgrace. The first apprentice charges with a chi-enhanced strike. Oscar doesn't move. He simply smiles. Oscar, I'm not using the sword anymore. I'm going to become a mage. The apprentice's blade whistles past Oscar's head, missing completely. Oscar, it won't work if you don't treat the sword as part of your body. The apprentice attacks again in fury. Oscar dodges every strike effortlessly, remembering his training in his past life. When an opening appears, Oscar strikes with his bare hand, a swift, precise blow that sends the apprentice crashing to the ground and his sword flying. Oscar, why would you throw away the advantage of your sword against an unarmed enemy? Oscar walks away, leaving the stunned apprentices behind. That should keep them from bothering me. Now I need to acquire magical power before my father forces me to awaken my ki. Oscar finds an isolated spot deep in the forest. He remembers a conversation with a mage from his previous life. Flashback. A mage in a pointed hat sits in a garden, holding a watering can. Mage. For us, using magic is like using a watering can. Magical power exists everywhere, filling the atmosphere. By pouring this energy into a magic formula, the spell activates. Present. Oscar sits on a rock, meditating. He looks at the sky. Can I pull that energy into my own circuits? He closes his eyes. As a sword saint, his senses were honed to perceive the world through sight, sound, touch. Those instincts remain. I can feel even the invisible. He senses the energy in birds, in fish, in the forest itself. When he opens his eyes, he sees it. Mana flowing everywhere as trails of light. Oscar, excited. I did it. Now I just need to pull the energy inside. But how? A strange noise interrupts his thoughts. A small rock lands nearby, radiating odd energy. Oscar investigates. He steps on a hidden magic circle. The ground explodes. A massive stone golem emerges from the dust. A red-haired girl drops from the trees, landing between Oscar and the golem. Girl, what the hell are you doing in my workshop? Did you come for my research? Oscar recognizes her instantly. Isabel, the mage of life creation, one of the most powerful mages in the kingdom. Oscar sits chained in Isabel's workshop. Isabel, which faction do you belong to? A red magic circle appears beneath Oscar's feet. Oscar, wait, I didn't resist when you captured me. I'm not your enemy. Isabel, you seem to want to die. Oscar, desperate, I'm not even a mage yet. Isabel pauses, surprised. She touches his head to verify. Her eyes widen. There's no mana flowing through his circuits. Later, Isabel serves Oscar tea. Isabel, I understand your situation now, but don't expect an apology. I've barely started as a professor at the academy and people already hate me. Oscar, you work at the Magic Academy? Isabel, it's useful for my golem research. Oscar sees his chance. Oscar, please teach me how to pull mana into my body. Isabel, I have no interest in weak, incompetent men. Drink your tea and go home. Oscar's eyes burn with determination. I can't give up again. Isabel ignores him and asks her golem servant to refill her cup. Oscar observes the golem. With his heightened perception, he sees the mana flow inside it. The circuits in its shoulder are faulty. Oscar, wait, something's wrong. The golem malfunctions. Hot tea spills directly onto Isabel's head. Isabel, soaked. The shoulder circuits are clogged. Oscar, how did you know it would malfunction? Oscar, the mana flow looked strange. Isabel, shocked. You can see mana in the air? Oscar, yes. Isabel understands how he broke through her barrier and realizes what this means. Isabel, extending her hand. I've changed my mind. I'll teach you. They shake hands. Isabel, mana already exists in your body. It only flows through circuits with a magic formula. She shows him a magic paper with a spell written on it. Isabel, feel your internal power. Visualize it entering the formula. Oscar nods with determination. This would normally take at least a month, Isabel thinks. Maybe 2 weeks if his talent is real. Oscar concentrates, closing his eyes. He enters a meditative state. It's like refining sword chi. Focus consciousness inward. The magic paper begins to glow with intense purple energy. Isabel's eyes widen. An enormous amount of mana flows into the paper. The energy explodes into the sky like fireworks. Isabel stares in disbelief. He learned magic on his first try. Just seeing mana shouldn't explain this level of talent. But one thing is certain. He's a true genius. Oscar gazes at the sky in wonder. Oscar, this is real magic. Isabel, I've never seen a human activate a formula on the first try. Oscar, it wasn't good enough. Isabel, what? Oscar, the result wasn't as beautiful as it should be. He remembers the street mage from his childhood, the beauty that captivated him. Oscar, magic should be special, but this one was different. The flow of mana in that formula was strange, like with the golem. He kneels beside the magic paper. Oscar, what do you think of my theory? Isabel stares at him, flustered. Oscar, clenching his fist, my desire wasn't just to become a mage. I want to create magic that is perfect and beautiful. Isabel, if something's bothering you, rewrite it. Oscar's eyes light up. Oscar, how do you write a magic formula? Oscar's father walks down a corridor, deep in thought. The defeated apprentices complain about Oscar's newfound strength. Father, tell me what happened. The apprentices explain everything. Father, surprised. He defeated you both? After dismissing them, the father looks at the sky with a smile. Father, the time has finally come. Time to grant him the sword aura. In the library, Oscar carries a massive stack of books. Isabel, I didn't say you could take everything. Oscar, you said I could take whatever I want. Isabel is speechless. Oscar, I need to warn you about something important. I'm now a mage harboring mana in my internal circuits. I'm no longer a warrior. Isabel, serious. Be very careful with sword aura from now on. Meanwhile, Oscar's father smiles with dark anticipation, planning to grant his son the power of the sword. Isabel, if you try to use both powers at the same time, you will most certainly meet your end.